What's up, everyone? It is Diecastbuffet here again. Guys, we have a Cody Ware Arby's Ford Mustang. Yes, it actually got made. That's freaking crazy. Anyways, we'll be doing a diecast review on this incredible paint scheme. And of all the paint schemes that get made each year, the fact that this got made in 164 really is freaking awesome. Let's check it out. And here we go, folks. Diecast in hand. And one of the pleasant surprises, I think, out of all the diecast to be made in 2025, not to get off topic, but I mean, the 2026 is going to be absolute bedlam for freaking 164 collectors. If you thought they only made a few 164s, whoo, I'm telling you, I have only seen maybe no more than 2 cancellations, like, pre-order cancellations, the last 4, maybe 5 months. On average, we would get almost 20 per month, give or take. So 2026, if things continue, we're going to have an absolute just gumbo pot of freaking diecast releases for 164 collectors. Not talking 124. We're talking strictly 164. So it's going to be a nostalgia wave if that's the case. Takes me way back to, like the 2000s when all the diecasts would get made. Anyways, enough of me rambling. This car is so freaking cool, man. I'm so glad it got made. The Arby'S Ford Mustang here for Rick Ware Racing. If you got a diecast series, you got a diecast stop motion, man, this is one of them you gotta have. Let's go ahead and open it up. Diecast out of the parcel, and check this one out here, man. Wow, what a cool looking paint scheme. So not only does it give me heavy inspiration of the Target cars from back in the Winston Cup and early Nextel Cup days, the bright red and white, paint scheme. But this is the first ever Arby's car to be made, at least since the millennium, I think. They might have had a random one in the 90s, but, the 90s was, kind of a wild west for diecast. Some of them, even though they were a diecast, doesn't necessarily mean they're, diecast quality. But at least since year 2000, man, this is definitely the first Arby's car I've seen. We got a little bit of, looks like paper. Yeah, it looks like paper or something that got clear coated. I could probably get that off the car, but I'd probably rather do that off camera, because if I try to do it on camera, it's probably going to scrape it and destroy it. So, maybe a little water or something to get that off. Anyways, we got Ware right there on the front windshield. Got Arby's on the hood of the diecast. Got the Ford logo there. Got the number 51 on the front end. Let's get a better look at that Ford Dark Horse front end. Now, the decal set looks a little bit off, and in fact it looks like the number 51 got chopped. That's interesting there. So we got a little bit of a decal oopsie-doo. That happens. Got the Sunoco decal there. You have the little bit of a paint chip on the splitter. That's an easy fix. On the left side of the diecast here, and one thing that's really iconic, if you will, it's like iconic, but very common with the Rick Ware Racing cars is one of my batteries for my lights just went out, basically. So bear with me as I ramble. But you can see the gold painted wheels on these cars. And one thing that makes me kind of curious is, like, did the gold painted wheels actually look this color, or did they look more of a gold color? Because if you look at the cars on track, it looks like at some point they did change the paint color for the wheels. Like, some of them look, more yellowish, and then some of them look a little bit more like the Subaru rally rims. If you're familiar with Gran Turismo or Forza, you know what I'm talking about. Subaru Imprezas, the metallic blue car with the goldish bronze style wheels. I think lighting would definitely make the wheels look, drastically different. So I'm not 1,000% sure if these wheels are closer to the real thing or not. If I had to guess, I'm going to say the bronze goldish color would be more realistic. These definitely look closer to the Goodyear coloring. But then again, what do I know? So that's one thing to kind of note there. You have the number 51 on the side, which, when's the last time we have another 51 diecast produced? I don't know. Get Arby's right there. We have the meats. Got Arrowhead brass. You have Parts Plus. And what's that right there? I can barely read that. I see Jacob Construction there. I'm not sure what that third decal is. Got Cody Ware, Ford, Mac Tools, Lincoln Welders, and Ford on the B-post. Goodyear on the front panel. Got Ford Performance on the rocker box. American Ethanol ring there. And then we go here to the back panel of the diecast. Got Arby's there, Rick Ware Racing, Ford 51. Oh yeah, if you haven't gotten this diecast yet, highly, highly recommend you do so. I have no idea how many they're making of this, but from what I've seen, a lot of people were very excited this diecast showed up at Circle B. So the point I'm trying to make is this is probably going to be on the short list of cars that are going to sell out before others. Get it while you can. It might not even be in stock right now at Circle B, but if it is, make sure to go tap in, guys. Get it while you can. You can use that promo code if you like. You don't have to. To all the cats who do use that code, man, I greatly appreciate it. Could not do these videos without you, literally. So just want to say thank you for that. Go top of the diecast. Just when you thought this was not a Arby's car, I kid you not, don't adjust your set. There is 8 Arby's logos on the hood of the car. I mean, look at that. It's funny. I did a diecast review on a Chris Buescher Fastenal car. I think it was 2023 or 2024. I'm like, there's 7 Fastenal logos on this car. There's 8 of them right there. So that's 1, 2, if I can math, that's 10, 12 potential Arby's logos, something like that. That's crazy. It's crazy, but I love it. That is so freaking cool. Here's a bottom look at the car here. And I'm still looking at these wheel colors, and I don't know if they're more accurate or not, as my lighting is just decided to do a backflip. What do y'all think about this car, man? I think it's fantastic. I think this is probably going to be one of the more sought-after cars for 2025. I mean, it's an Arby's car, right? You see commercials for them. Pretty much every sports game, there's an Arby's commercial, so it's a very popular brand. And with this being like their first ever 164 to get made, like this was the perfect makings of a diecast to only be a 124 exclusive, which, I love the 124 scale. Don't get me wrong. But man, there's something so cool about a 164 scale. Like, to me, I feel like a team or a sponsor getting a 164 made is like, it's a bigger flex than getting a 124 made. I don't know why, but I just think it's the coolest thing. I'm going to show a couple other diecasts here that definitely, if you're, a 164 collector, tap in, man. These are some beautiful paint schemes. How about this? The Napa 100th anniversary paint scheme for Chase Elliott. That is going to be a fantastic get. How about this? Kyle Larson in the Homestead Race to Win truck. I'm going to turn it around because I want you to see the right side of that truck. It is caked up in dirt and grime and damage and donuts and all that good jazz. That's a beautiful truck diecast. How about this? Coda Race to Win for Christopher Bell. That's a fantastic piece. And just when you haven't had enough damaged Race to Win diecast, how about this Eric Almirola Phoenix photo finish Race to Win diecast? I cannot believe that car actually got made. I'm not even going to hold you. That is the first ever Gold Series Xfinity Super car to get made, I think. You got to think about it. All the drivers that have driven for Joe Gibbs Racing, the John Hunter Nemecheks, the Christopher Bells, just all the cats, even Kyle Busch. Oh, okay, I take that back. They did make the Kyle Busch, 5-car set, but that's not just like a normal 164 that's individually sold. That was a special diecast set. This is the first individual, normal release. It just blows my mind, because they've had a lot of drivers win over there. So really cool diecast. Make sure to get that one while you can. And in my opinion, the throwback of the year. I mean, look, the Wood Brothers throwback is freaking cool, man. But Terry Labonte, the Iceman, oh boy, that's a cool diecast for sure. And I'll show a couple more here in studio. How about this one, man? Maybe the best Jordan brand paint scheme. The Jordan brand Miami car. That thing is incredible. Chase Elliott got the patriotic cars starting to roll out. We've had a multitude of throwbacks released. Now it's time to start getting some of the patriotic cars, which is always cool. So my point is, there's like a megalodon of unbelievable good diecast releases that have dropped recently at Circle B. If you haven't seen them on the channel yet, I was wanting to do an order for all of them at once. So, if you're watching this when this video is just airing, expect a lot more, hopefully, on the channel very soon. Thank you all for watching. Have a blessed one. DB, signing off. Oh, my battery died again. Look at that perfect timing.